Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, the show we play every roguelike in history. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
This time we're starting on Hand of Fate 2.
If I may,
Yes.
welcome back to the game, my friend.
There you go. We're returning to the once top of the leaderboards number one spot, Hand of Fate 2. I am playing this on the PlayStation 5. I'm assuming you're playing this on the Series X.
Of course.
Yep. I played a lot of this week. This was exactly the roguelike that I needed.
Yeah, so shall we talk about this? The main show is going to be a little bit dry, we'll say.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit, largely because of Hand of Fate 2. Whoops.
Yeah,
and
other things from my side as well, but yeah, mostly it's Hand of Fate 2.
Yeah, Hand of Fate 2 with its metric ton of things they have added to this already pretty full game.
So, let's get this out of the way first.
Yes.
I think they added too much.
I'm like a hair's breadth away from saying that. I think it is I'm pleasantly full after a good Thanksgiving dinner, but one more bite and I would be pretty sick.
You haven't hit tryptophan coma yet.
No. So let's talk about the new stuff. Dice rolls. Kind of a big mechanic. It's okay. It's an interesting leaning more toward. So Hand of Fate 1, I largely saw it as a dungeon crawler where the dungeon are the cards on the table, and the dungeon is randomized because of the cards that are being pulled out of the deck. And then you had like the combat situations that were fine. They were okay. I feel like Hand of Fate 2, it's not just because we're rolling dice. I feel like it has like raced towards, hey, now we're a D&D game. Like it.
Yeah, a little bit.
It feels really weird. Like the further I have played half of the, what do they call it? Campaign. Like there's 22 campaign icons. I've played half of those. I've played the first 11. I haven't touched Endless or whatever the other one is. I don't have any of the DLC. And like the campaigns that they're setting up are genuinely really interesting. But a lot of
very, very, very hard.
Yeah, like there's out of the 11, I've finished I think 7, and I have gotten the gold on I think 4. So like a bunch of them, the guy who's you're playing against is like, you did okay, so like here's a silver token, but you're definitely not getting the gold. And there's like 1 or 2 of them where I'm like, I thought I did that perfectly, and I don't know what you're looking for me to do here to get the gold.
For me, the first one that messed me up was the blessings.
Oh, jeez. That's one I still don't. I don't even have the silver on that one. Like
I got the silver on that one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, getting the gold involves getting 8 blessings in like 4 floors essentially. So that's a perfect run. Your deck, you have to have every single blessing thing you can have in your deck.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm just playing it and going through, being like, this has got a token on, put that in. This has got a token on, put that in.
Yep.
Token. So I can unlock more cards.
I just started doing the erase and fill option, where it's like, all right, I need you to give me like the weapons and the encounter cards that are going to work for this like campaign, and kind of just fill out my deck. And so far it's worked really well.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The combat's definitely better. Give them credit there.
Yeah, I still think it has room for improvement, because there are times where I'm like, rolling out of the way of one attack, but a guy with a green icon stabs me in the back, even though I wasn't close to him, and it's like, okay. And like the very first type of enemy you fight can attack twice at once, but their green icon doesn't disappear between attacks. So I'm like, I blocked his attack. Why did he hit me again? It's like, oh, okay, well, he has 2 daggers. Okay, all right, I'm picking it up. Like, there's a lot of that little stuff, but it is significantly better than the first one.
So, for the record, you went into internet bad connection land for a while there while you were talking, great. So I missed a lot of what you said. So if I repeat something here, we'll
excuse us, please.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I do not like how many additional chance times there are, or like the new like success or failure mechanics, essentially.
Yeah, because the first one, correct me if I'm wrong, the first one was largely just here are 4 cards, success or failure, and kind of huge success, huge failure.
Yes. Now this one also has the dice in it, which I like the fact that it doesn't give you one roll and you can re-roll and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I always make the mistake of holding the ones I don't want to re-roll because I'm used to highlighting the ones you want to keep, not highlighting the ones you want to re-roll.
Yeah, for anyone that's not playing this along with us, you should be playing this along with us. You select the die you want to discard and re-roll as opposed to selecting the ones to keep. So there are a bunch where it's like, yeah, of course I'm keeping the 6. No!
Yeah, I got snake eyes and a 6, and I re-rolled the 6 by accident.
Right, it's like, great.
Thanks for that. The spinny one or the TikTok one, the metronome
like
one.
The laser where you're trying to pick a gold bar thing.
I'm okay with that one. That one seems to be okay.
I think that one's fun. There's a bunch of equipment that I just unlocked. Like I think it's a helmet I just unlocked that significantly slows down how quickly that like laser picker moves. That's great. So that one I kind of like.
Because it feels like you have control over that one.
Yeah. The roulette one is rough.
The spinny one is the worst.
Like I feel like a lot of times I figure it out and I pick one and I get the one I want, and then the next round it's like 5 times faster. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just push the button. I don't know. Just let the chips fall where they may. I feel like there's another one too.
I think there is, and that's the scary part.
I don't remember. There's a lot of systems in this game. I still feel pretty positively about them, but like when I got that like pendulum swinging thing, I was like, oh my god, seriously? There's like another one in here? Jeez. Okay. Great. Yeah, I'm wondering how far my patience goes with a lot of those, because we're still pretty early days in this. I say I have played 11 out of the 22, but I haven't done very well in a bunch of them, but I've completed it and died. So he's like, yeah, all right, here's 3 more. The last one I did, I sort of accidentally won I don't know if you played it, the one where you're trying to figure out who's going to assassinate the Thieves Guild leader.
I don't think so.
Okay, that one's really interesting. That's kind of a cool spin on it. And the one I just finished was a mage has turned a forest into wintertime, and you need to find the mage before the Empire does. But the hard part is the forest is really big, so every time you exit and start a new like encounter, he tosses down 25 cards. It's a 5x5 grid, and it's just like,
that's a lot.
I don't have enough food for this. Oh boy. my kid is always saying, "Daddy, you have 0 apples in your game." It's like, yes, I know. I also have 15 health. It's going very poorly. So I think it's really neat how far they're stretching the game's conceit, like the game's idea of you're building a dungeon, you're building a story out of this stuff. There are some of them that are like that blessings one. It's sort of like,
It's
yeah,
a little difficult, we'll say.
Yeah, like I felt like I did really well, and I'm never really the guy that's upset because I got a bad roll of the dice. You know, like that's how it goes in this game. That's how it goes in a lot of these games, especially if they're card and dice and metronome based. Sometimes you get all the way through the market thief encounter and you just have a bad roll at the end and you still don't get that token, and it's been 15 times and I'd like that token. But I'll continue to roll the dice again. So I'm curious to see how far they can stretch that stuff, but so far early days, I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm glad that they got to make a second one, because it feels like pretty much everything in this game is vastly improved over the first one.
Yeah. There's a lot here. I don't know if overall I like it more yet.
Yeah, I don't either.
But a lot of the little improvements have been absolutely spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the combat I think is a lot better. I think the voice acting is still stellar.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, even like your character, the shouts and grunts and stuff are all really good. You get to make your own character this time and like pick a background and outfit colors and hairstyles and stuff like that. I thought that was cool.
Yes, like having an actual person you made once be in the game is great. But no, there's a lot to like. I do like a lot of the stuff going on in it. I like I like the fact that it's the same basic game, but everything else is stacked on top. Like, I still like that stupid stand on the cards to flip them over thing. Like,
it's really good.
If ever there was a Kickstarter for a physical board game that you needed.
Mm-hmm. There's one adventure where you have to go collect a whole bunch of relics, and in that one, he actually puts other game pieces on other cards that you have to go chase down and interact with. And I was like, all right, this is pretty great. Like this is super good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're both in the same boat, which is like it's more of a good thing, but as we get deeper in the game and we try and get the gold token on all of these, are there too many barriers in place to having a successful run? I don't want it to be handed to me every time, but like, is the deck stacked against you, or can you kind of manipulate it in an interesting way?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just how bad we can make it.
Yeah.
With how many additional cards we've unlocked and how many, like, it's the thing that I bumped into towards the end of Hand of Fate was, hey, by the way, you've got 1,000 cards here, and it's just like, I don't know what to pick.
Also, I don't remember this from the first one, but did the weapons and armor in the first one have tokens on them, or is that new to this one?
That's new to this one.
Okay. I think that's kind of an interesting thing, because I've completed a couple of armor and weapon tokens. Like, some of them are like, use the special attack 20 times. It's like, okay, that's pretty easy to do. And I like that you essentially get like a stronger version of that weapon unlocked. So I think that's kind of a cool progression thing. Oh, we also forgot to talk about fame. There's a new fame
Yep.
system in the game where there are objectives and like armor pieces and weapons and stuff that you can't equip until you're famous enough in the campaign, which is usually fairly easy. Some of the pieces are like, oh, you need 7, you need 13. A lot of the encounters will either give you 2 or 4 fame, so it's easy enough to do, but it's an interesting speed bump where it's like, all right, I brought this card in with me. It's very strong, but I need 20 fame, so I can't just like breeze through the entire campaign.
Yeah, I'm on that thing right now where I just got my first platinum card, which is a new thing as well, which we didn't talk about yet.
They look so cool. They're so shiny.
I'm on the one where you get given one at the start of the encounter, and you need to get to 20 fame to wield the weapon to complete the encounter.
That was a cool one. I liked that.
That's the one I'm currently doing. It's like, that looks like a sick-ass weapon, if I'm completely honest.
It's pretty cool. I successfully completed it, and you actually just get that weapon as a card in your inventory. It's like, yes, great. It's super good.
Does it still need the 20 fame?
It does, which is really interesting, but it's still like incredibly powerful. But yeah, there's just, I feel like we're probably missing like 5 or 7 other additional mechanics. It's nice it's nice to see the guy that you're playing against is back, and very distinctly in a much worse state than he was 100 years ago.
And I also like the fact that when you first load the game, he references the fact that he lost, and it's like, dude, I don't know about you, but I didn't beat you, so whoever beat you, good job to them.
Right, like he's still really salty about it. I do like a number of the cards that are just kind of the like the basic cards in his deck have like the blight on the upper right hand corner like his arms do. I think that's a really cool little touch of like, yeah, these are my cards. They are not going to do good things to you.
Yeah.
Hand of Fate
I still haven't
really
figured out I haven't figured out what the little banner over the top right corner is.
Yeah, I almost feel like he's trying to hide like the sickness underneath.
Yes, like like if that's like the corruption thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's also really interesting that your character isn't necessarily in control of where they go on their adventures. The bard you saved as part of the tutorial is really directing. Yeah, he's like directing you like dandelion style to where you're gonna go and to try and save him from this sickness. So it's kind of this neat thing of you're not roaming the countryside saving people. This dude is like pulling you along where it's like, oh, what's this thing? So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And I have checked the achievements for this. Apparently there is like 9 companions or something like that.
I looked at the when I fired this up on the PS5, I looked at the trophies. There's like 75 trophies across all the DLC packs in this, and a bunch of them are like finish this campaign, like finish the Hierophant with 100 gold in your coffers. It's just like, Jesus, okay. I have not yet finished it, nevertheless finished it with any gold, so okay. And then on the other side, there's a bunch where it's like, kill 50 of these enemies, kill 50 of these enemies, you know, get this companion in your deck. So I have 2 companions right now, the bard and one other. And that system seems pretty interesting so far, but not. I wish the companions were maybe a little bit more impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a smidge so stronger.
And all he does is give me a shield and then fires things.
Yeah, like his projectiles move pretty slowly and they do okay damage, but I feel like I am constantly picking him up to really no benefit when I could just be fighting the bad guys myself. But yeah, there's so much in this game. It is genuinely, this is probably gonna be one of our longest We Roguelike It episodes, and we've probably missed about half of the mechanics in this game. It is just,
yeah.
I don't think you need to have played the first one to jump into this one. I think they do a really good job of tutorializing you and getting you into it. And of course, you know how to draw cards, you know how to pick a card that's being shuffled, you know how to roll dice. Like, all this stuff is really fairly obvious. But when they all combine, that's where it gets real spicy.
Yeah.
All right, any final thoughts here for Hand of Fate 2? First week.
Only week one.
Yeah. That was a loud noise.
Well, that was just, what was it on your end, or was it me just saying yeah?
No, something in the background of probably like some motorcycle outside or something.
Dude, there was nothing on my side. That was your side. Cool. Unless my headphones are that good.
Ghosts. Great. All right, thank you very much everyone for listening. We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.